A study in 2018 found that 48% of Canadians have lost sleep over their financial stress, and that needs to change. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you need to do to be able to fight your financial stress. Hey, I'm Austin from Silvan Financial Coaching, and if you want to learn how to get ahead faster, then subscribe and hit the little bell to my channel, and you'll be the first to know when I upload every Thursday. So what I'm going to share with you today is exactly the reason why I get messages like this from clients of mine, and now I'm here to help you. And stay tuned because I have an awesome free resource for you that's going to help you crush your financial stress quickly. So the process I'm going to show you today about how to handle your financial stress comes from the idea that financial stress comes from the fear of the unknown. So the following steps are directed towards helping you find clarity through understanding what's going on with you and what's going on with your money. And all you're going to need is 3 pieces of paper and a pen. Alternatively, I've created a free downloadable PDF to help you along with this, and you can get that in the link below in the description. Okay, so step number 1 is to figure out what your symptoms are. You probably know what your symptoms are, but these symptoms can be anything from anxiety, avoidance tendencies, guilt, feeling like it, not being able to eat, eating too much, low energy, sleep problems, sexual dysfunction, depression, and more. That's a heck of a list. Now what you're going to do is grab your first piece of paper and label it "What I am working away from." Alternatively, you can use the downloadable PDF for this. Now think about which symptoms of financial stress are showing up in your life and write them down on the page. Now this might seem dumb or ineffective, or it's going to cause you some temporary pain because there's been some stuff you've been kind of avoiding and now you have to face it. But I just want you to know that that resistance to doing this is the only thing that's separating your current life from the life that you actually want. So start your war on resistance and get writing. Okay, so next thing you're gonna do is figure out how this stress is impacting other parts of your life. Financial stress can bleed into different parts of your life, and that can cause some vicious cycles. For example, if you're financially stressed, that can make you sick more. If you're sick more often, then you may miss work. If you miss work, you don't get paid, and then that just increases your financial stress. Alternatively, if your stress is making you more irritable, which tends to be kind of a factor for me, I find, it can impact your relationships with the people who support you most, and those people are going to be crucial to helping you along this journey to crush this financial stress and feel better. So think about the ways these symptoms are impacting your life and continue writing that down on your first page of what you're working away from. Okay, so step number 3 is to figure out what are your coping mechanisms or destructive behaviors. Do you avoid looking at your bank account? Do you shop even more when you're stressed? Or do you just give up completely when you don't know what you're doing? All of these habits and behaviors need to be written down on the first page, because when you start taking action, you'll know that these resistance patterns are going to show up in your life, and you'll already have planned out how to act accordingly to defeat these habits and behaviors. And also take a second to be mindful of this process. Accept that it is what it is right now, and if you feel guilt or upset, forgive yourself. Because the past is already past, and now it's time to focus on the future. And that very act of forgiving yourself alone can start to reduce some of the anxiety you may be experiencing from financial stress. Have you ever actually taken the time to forgive yourself? I never really used to, but it's a habit that I'm starting to get into more, and I find it really helps. So if you have or not, give me a yes or no in the comments and let me know why. Okay, so now you're gonna have to grab your second piece of paper and you're gonna label that "What I am working towards." And for step 4, there's gonna be 2 things that you write down. The first is, what are the main values of your life? Maybe it's family or free time or reading or freedom that are important to you. Write those down. You're also going to write, what would your life be like if you didn't have this financial stress anymore? How would you feel? What would you do? What would change? And now the thing that you're really gonna have to kind of focus on moving forward is that every decision you make is to be getting away from your first page and moving towards what you wrote on your second page. And extra bonus points if you end up printing these pages off and stick them to your fridge or somewhere that's very visible, so you can have that reminder in your life regularly to help keep you on track in your journey to reducing your financial stress. So now you're gonna grab your third page and you're gonna write actions I am taking. For step 5, we're gonna start talking about action taking. Go look at your last 2 months of your bank and credit statements and try to figure out what places your money is being spent on most. If you're spending too much on rent, keep that in mind. If you're spending too much on clothes or food, then remember that as well. And now you're gonna write down the 3 top money vacuums in your life and how much you spend on them each month. For step 6, you're going to prioritize what major steps you need to take to reduce your financial stress most. One of the most important actions you could take is to establish an emergency fund, because that's gonna give you a cushion in a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, and it's gonna protect you from potential financial hiccups. And I've got more on that in a video up here. If your financial stress is rooted in you having to pay off debt, then you can try either the debt avalanche or the debt snowball method, which I have in a cringy older video up here. If it is to stop spending as much money, then next week I'm actually going to be putting together a compulsive spending video. So keep your eyes peeled for that, because it's gonna have a lot of valuable tips to help you reduce your spending. So now you're gonna write your 2 top priorities that you're gonna take to reduce your financial stress most. Now for step 7, you're gonna figure out what small actions you need to take to achieve these top priorities you set. Chances are you need to reduce what you spend each month, and so you may need to decide if you're gonna take some major actions like move if you're paying too much in rent, or you can start to reduce your spending gradually if there's maybe too much money being spent on food or clothes or different things like that. Although it kind of sucks and you probably want the results now, if you reduce your spending gradually, you'll be a lot more consistent with it, and it's going to be a lot easier to avoid lifestyle shock, which is when you drop your spending too much and your entire life changes in an uncomfortable way. You will have to dig a bit deeper than just save more money. Perhaps you'll have to stop going and spending as much money eating out for dinner. And if that's the case, maybe you'll have to start waking up earlier or give yourself more time at home to cook and grocery shop. Really explore what options you have, because there's so many ways that you can reduce your financial stress. You just need to figure out what works best for you. And the smaller the actions you can break down to reach these priorities, then the easier it's gonna be to stick to it as well. And of course, write these small actions down on your action taking page. As you continue making better decisions and taking better actions, your financial stress will reduce. However, you are still gonna be brushing up against your resistance quite often. At times it's gonna beat you, at times it's gonna make you feel like crap, but you just need to keep trying to reduce this financial stress, and eventually you're gonna get there. You can do it. And step number 8 is get to work. Start now, because the sooner you can do it, the sooner you can defeat this stress and start feeling better. So that's it for this video. I highly suggest that you download the free PDF, print it off, fill it out, and follow along this video with it, because it's gonna make this process a lot easier and help keep your thoughts very organized. But that's it for today. So if this video brought you value, then hit like and subscribe and hit the little bell so you're first to know when I upload every Thursday. And you can always check out these other videos around. And with that, I will see you next week. Bye.